Hi, in this video I will show you how to put together this Easter Bunny Wheelbarrow card, which is a box card from Simply Crafty SVGs. So here's a sample of an earlier card when I was testing it. So it does open up to display and flattens to fit into an A7 envelope, which is for a 5x7 card. So it's a little bit shorter than, it's not 5 inches tall, but it has to fold to the left. So if it folds to the right, it's going to be much longer, so it won't fit in the envelope. And the way that this sits up is, you can see that there's no support in the back. So the only supports are these three, but it does balance, and I wanted it to look like a, so I'm going to show you from the top. So when it opens like that, so it's a little bit, I wanted it to look a certain way. So I didn't want this coming down. I wanted it to look like it was lifted, which it was. And the other thing I'll note is you can see the back of these because I have, the paper I used was white. I do have extra, in the extra stuff folder, some wheels if for some reason you're using white cardstock and you want it to have a color here, and you're not using double-sided colored. Like this one, I'm going to use a kind of a wood look for the wheelbarrow. But, and don't hold it from here too much, else it'll bend right there. But if you want to add extra wheels, I added that file in there. So just look for the extra stuff folder. So that's it. So first we're going to do is piece together the bunny. And it looks slightly different because I actually put the arm on backwards there. So it doesn't matter a whole lot, but this is what it actually looks like. So I just put it upside down when I was testing. So let's go ahead and, again, be careful with this. This is your stability, these sides, okay? So let's go ahead and start with the bunny. So I'm going to move this to the left here. Move this over, and we're going to do this afterwards. And I just have it sitting layered so to show you. So this way, the way this is going to go together, so these are all the pieces. So this is going to show on the top, so I did a little bit of a shading with chalk, and the same thing with some of the feet. And I didn't do the whole thing gray, but I was just playing around, and then I put a little chalk for the cheeks, and then highlighted that little cut mouth with the little chalk on the edge. Chalked. So the reason I use chalk on this is that you can erase it, but if you're really good with your ink, if you have a small ink applicator that you use, maybe like a little Q-tip or something, you could do that too, or use a pen. But if for some reason you are not sure about it, I would just do a test cut and play around with that before you do your final. That's normally what I do. So the way it's going to go together is this. It's going to come, this goes behind here. So you can see the shape. Just making sure I have the right size. This is the back. So the back, the black part, this, and so you see the little beady eyes. Then this goes on the pink, like that. And then this will go right here, and this will go over there. So that's how it pieces together. So I'm going to put it together. I'm not going to be talking through it, so you can watch me put it together. So you can see everything lines up. And just be careful, put it on lightly before you push it in place. And with all the thickness of the head, I did ink it a little bit, but it kind of gives it more dimension that it's popping up with all those layers. So last I just put some little pieces of foam tape. I had little squares, and you can put it like right here. Or if you wanted to, you thought it looked better like that. That's up to you. So it really doesn't matter, but this is how I designed it. So I just kind of eyeball where it is. I didn't give you a little guide mark for that one. So you can just place it kind of like the arms going down like that, or higher, whichever you want. And then this again to give it dimension. Just kind of line that up so it lines up with that little foot at the bottom sticking up. So that's the bunny. So now we're going to do the eggs. So you know, when it comes to Easter, a lot of us are reminded of Easter eggs, either Easter egg hunts as a kid or anything like that. I didn't do many Easter egg hunts as a kid, but I did it with my nephews when they were younger, and that was fun to watch. It's fun to watch kids do it. So what's your favorite thing to watch kids on Easter do? I mean, do you like them dressing up? Or anyways, it'd be just interesting to know. If you want to make a little comment below regarding that. I kind of just liked watching kids on Easter. We weren't really a church-going family, although my family's Catholic, but I really didn't partake in the actual, which some would be calling the true Easter. So anyways, so let's go ahead and put these together. Let's see. So I'm going to show you. So you have the option. Here's the background right here. So that's the color of an egg. So choose some colors. The file has these individual eggs. So you could do a bunch of individual eggs and put them on individually. Just have to kind of shape them in the area. Or you can use the little guides that I gave you. So I have these two big pieces, and then I have each individual thing. So you kind of want to play around with the colors. It's up to you. So, but I would do this top one first. So this is going to go on this little insert when we're done. So I embossed each one to give them a little bit a different look. So you can see it fits right there. So you can always use that, or like I said, you could do individual eggs. So if you wanted to just do that, just overlap them a little bit, that's up to you. That kind of thing. But we're going to go ahead and use the second one. I was trying to figure out how to actually make the file useful, but after I was done I thought, well, you could just mix and match because all the egg shapes are the same. So no matter how you do it, it'll work out. So if you wanted like to do pattern paper, I just have to make sure I get in the right place. But I go from back to the front, by the way. But if you wanted to do like a different pattern papers, that would be fun to have different colored eggs in there, like rather than because they're so small, it's hard to get detail on them unless you want to draw on them. Some people like to do little drawings. So next, let's go ahead. I'm just picking and choosing here. I'm gonna put the yellow one there, just like that. I should have put one in the middle, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to put this little pink one. So this is just a decision for yourself. I just make extra eggs and play around with the shapes until you like what you see. I should have put that one on before the blue, by the way. I'm going to put this, so I want to keep it yellow still. That's just trying to get the stacking. Oops, I don't want the yellow there. I want the blue there. I'm allowed to be. So I reversed embossed this, so it de-embossed it. It put the dots down rather than popping up. So the reason I was showing you all this is because you can change it the way you want. So I have 4 colors, but if you want 3, I mean, it's all just up to you. So that's kind of a good combo. I like the 4 colors rather than the 3, and then it just fits right there. I'm just going to glue it on the bottom here so it don't go too far on the bottom there. If you wanted to make these inserts a different color too, you could. I just kind of matched them up to make it easier to cut. So now I think that's the hardest part of the whole card. So we'll go ahead and put together the actual card. So then we're just going to piece together the panels that go on the front and back. So the way it goes, you take these, it's going to be this, this, and then this. So we'll go ahead and do that really quick. Move that up. You see that the one for the front is already layered, but we'll do it. I'll show you. So we can't put them on the card yet because of the shape of this. It'll be really difficult to put on. So as I mentioned earlier, if you wanted to make the wheels, the outside of the wheels or the actual wheel the same, I should say this, another structure, like let's say you have the back is, you don't like the way it looks on the back, you can always cut out the extra wheels that's in the extra stuff folder and put it on the back before you put it on the card. So then this will go like this. Just be really careful. You could put the glue on here, but this is giving it strength to stand up and the look I want, actually. So this will give it time to dry too. So you'll notice these two, so they have a slight shape at the end, so just make sure you put it on the correct side. So you see how it just kind of angles up like that, just slightly on one side, and the other side is kind of squared off. For this one, we're going to put right here. Go. So the next one, you want to make sure you put it in the correct order. So I'm going to put that to the side. When you put this on, you want to make sure that this top piece that we just put on last will go over the handle. I mean the hand of the bunny. So let's put the bunny in that first. So if you do like our projects, please, I would always appreciate a little thumbs up below, and or subscribe to our channel, and then you'll know when we have new content. If you hit the bell too, that'll tell you when you'll get a notification telling them that we have a new video. So hit that bell. So I just carefully lined it up. Again, this is like a crucial part. That layering and the thickness of this is the only thing that's going to hold the card up on the left hand side, so we want to make sure we have that correct. So now we'll go ahead and add this panel. And I used an embossing folder, kind of a distressed embossing folder from Tim Holtz, from Sizzix. Rather than using, I would have used a wood texture, but it was just too thick. I wanted a smaller look on it because it's such a small piece. So now we're going to go ahead and do this and add this. And it goes up a little bit far, but that's okay. If you don't like it, you can always cut it off. I just needed as much stability as possible in that area so it could hold the card up and get the look I wanted. So just line those wheels up carefully. And get it down there. So again, I have it kind of going far up there for the reason of really stability. So now we're just going to line that up. This just gives it a little look like there's a piece of wood coming over here holding it on the side. So that's the front and back. So we're ready to we'll just let those dry on the side. And then even that little pop-up right there is going to help to kind of stabilize in the front. So that's a nice thing. So now we're going to take this piece and just make sure you know which side's the front. So the front's this right here. So that's the front. So we want to put this in here. So the way we're going to do that, we want to go by the shortest side first. So we're going to fold these back. So it's going to be like this. So what we want to do, these folded back like that. I'm going to put glue on this left one first because that's the shortest side. Because we want to make sure we line it up on that side. I'm going to get the right angle for you to say sorry about that. So I'm kind of making sure that the top goes towards there. And I'm going to kind of line it up to this to get it as square as possible. Because I want it to go across, so I'm going to flip it over real quick. Make adjustments. I just want to make sure that falls underneath that edge, which it does. There's no straight edge to follow, so you just have to do your best there. That's what happens when you start doing curvy designs. So once you get that glued, we're just going to fold this part over right here. Like that. And you can see, still. And then that's going to place it right where we want. So I'm going to go a little higher, trying to make it match that edge. So I'm just going to add glue to this tab here. Right there. I'm just going to flatten it like that. So you see how it's folded over? And I'm going to show you in a minute once you see how that. So I fold it back the other way. We're going to go ahead and add glue to this little tab here. Careful not to get glue inside. Fold this flat. And just making a minor adjustment to make sure it lines up properly. So we want to make sure that it folds really well to the left. So train it to go to the left because that's the way we're going to fit it in the envelope. So now, it looks like nothing, huh? Just looks like a little, but now we're just going to add the front and back and then it'll put it together. So the biggest thing here, you put it flat. Make sure you line this up really well with that curve right there. Right there. And this curve across the top. So we're going to line it up on the top edge. Just add glue to this. Do not add glue to the other piece. And be really careful about how you line this up. So I'm just going to go ahead and line it up with that little curve right there. I'm not going to unfold it at all. I'm just going to flip it over and do the other side the same. So it's just the opposite. Oh, we forgot something. See, there's always something. So really quick, before we do that, put these on first, if you're going to add these. And these fit right into the sections. So I didn't emboss them the correct way, but that's okay. Old wheelbarrows could be made opposite. It's funny, I was thinking about it too. So these fit almost exactly in, okay? They're just a little bit smaller, but not quite. Because I wanted to be the whole size. So now let's go ahead and add this back part. Whoops. See, that threw me off. That's what happens. So if you don't know, I use mostly art glitter glue and American Craft cardstock. I do use other things, but right now that's my choice of glue. It seems like I'm sticking to it. I was going to switch to another one. I like a couple glues, and I will use several glues, but in my videos I try to keep it the same. But I did like Barely Art glue. Just having some challenges with it getting just stuck. The tip gets stuck, and then I have to go wash it all the time. So this one doesn't. This is a fine tip applicator that I found on Amazon, and it's done me well. So that's it. That's the finished card. So that's flattened. So let's go ahead and open it. Like that. So I'm going to open it up and just kind of let it stand for a sec. So you can see it stands up, but there's no support on the back. It's like a magic trick. So that's it. Just a cute, you can add a little cute sentiment on the front. It's kind of a fun idea I had, and I'm glad I was able to make it happen. Just be careful when you're handling it too, not to bend this before you give it to your recipient. The other thing I would say is when you do put it in an envelope, if you send it to somebody, I mean, if you're just hand delivering it, but either way, be careful. What you might want to do is take a piece of cardstock, which I do with a lot of my cards like this, and just fold it in half and cover it and protect it, and just slide it in with that. So when they pull it out, they just unfold the cardstock and get this gem. So then you don't have to worry about any of these pieces getting folded or anything like that. I do that almost always when I send a card like this. So there it is. Again, if you like it, give me a little thumbs up. And thank you for watching.